Levi Whitney here with Uphill Cinema. Today we're going to talk about traveling to third world countries and things that you can prepare for, some tips and tricks that I've learned going over there several times. And specifically, this is Kenya. That's where I just went. And yeah, let's dive right into it. So you just landed your first client, now you're getting to go to some awesome new areas, and these are the things that I've learned specifically about packing and what to bring and the mentality of what to bring. That's what we'll dive into in part one of this two-part series. So just remember, these are my thoughts and opinions, different strokes for different folks. So if you have a different approach that works for you, that's totally fine. But hopefully this can kind of speed up the process and hopefully maybe answer some questions you may have if you're going over to just a little more difficult areas to film. Tip number one, pack for international travel. As a filmmaker, you know that you try to carry on most of your gear, especially though the lenses, the batteries, the cameras. The batteries, you pretty much have to nowadays because of all the regulations. But domestic flights have different sizing requirements compared to international flights. So when your bag's already set to the right sizes, you're good to go. For example, the bags that I took out to Kenya this last trip, I brought 4 carry-on bags. Now, I had tons of other bags, checked bags, but I had 4 carry-on bags. 2 of them were taken by other people, and those were 2 Pelican cases just filled with batteries, adapters, connectors, things like that I just wanted to make sure that they were protected, but I didn't really so much care like if they got lost. That was just the way it goes. Now when it comes to the camera and lenses and memory cards, passports, things of that nature, I definitely want those as close to me and by me as possible. And the bags that I chose and took with me, as you guys know, I'm a massive Temba fan. I took the Temba Roadie Backpack 20, and for my roller I chose the Temba Roadie Air 21. Now there's a reason I like Temba and I like these style of bags. One is I don't want to draw attention, and that's one of the biggest reasons. I don't want people to look at me and go, oh, he has a ton of camera gear. And that's what I love about Temba's Roadie line. They just look like nice black luggage. They don't draw attention, they're not bright. And what's nice though about the Roadie Air 21 roller is it has features that are just super nice and super convenient, and it's crush proof. It can withstand tons and tons of weight. So if you have to check it, you can. One thing that's nice and gives you a big peace of mind is knowing that these 2 bags meet the international size requirements for overhead compartments on the planes, so you just don't have to worry about it. Another reason why I like these bags is they just protect everything. They fit everything I need, and I took out a full red package. So everything is packed in all the gear in the ways of camera and lenses in these 2 bags. So I have my Temba Roadie. You can see a ton of batteries. I have a 100 to 400 Canon, 70 to 200 Canon, a 50 Canon, 24 to 105 Canon, and a 16 to 35 Canon in there. I have 10 batteries, filters up here, and just a ton of gear. My laptop, a ton. Right here in this Temba, you can see this is all loose now, but I had the red. I did have it broken down, just the top handle and all this broken down, but I had the red. I have the Red's power supply. I have the Mavic Pro 2 in here. That's wrapped up in this Temba wrap. Underneath that is the power brick to it. Lenses, battery power, all the batteries for the Mavic in here, all the connectors, extra propellers, hard drive connectors, hard drives, and just more stuff. Tip number 2, bring the gear you want. I've heard a lot of people say in international travel and specifically to these third world countries that they don't bring a ton of gear. Now I don't mean you need to be bringing crazy amounts of gear, but for instance, I brought my Miller tripod. It's a 100mm ball head. It's a big hefty tripod because I wanted big nice pans. I knew I was going to be on bigger lenses. I brought a monopod. I brought drones. I brought a slider, Kessler slider. I am a big believer in just bringing the gear you want, because the last thing you want to do is get out to the area and wish you had something else to get a shot you want. So bring the gear you want. Just because other people say, oh, try to be as minimal as you can, if that's what you want, then go right ahead. But for me, I am not really a minimalist, but I'm very much I'll bring what I want and I'll bring what I need, and Phil is going to captivate and move the story forward. Tip number 3, carry your drugs with you.
Tell you what, I'll get us started. That feels better.
Yes, you heard me right. Bring your medications on the plane with you. Bring them on your carry-on luggage. I say this because if you keep your medications on your checked luggage, it could throw off your entire system on when you need to take your medications. Now, when you're traveling to third world countries, I highly recommend you go and check with your health clinics to see what's going on in those areas. And depending on the area, you'll most likely have to have some type of malaria medication, get some shots. Malaria, you'll have to take your medication while you're out there, and you usually need to start it the day or 2 days before you get into the area that has malaria. So if you don't bring your medications with you, you'll be thrown off and you'll be completely screwed.
You're screwed. Yeah, you're totally screwed.
So yeah, any type of medication, bring them in your carry-on bags, and then you won't have any mistakes. So yeah, that's the end of part 1. I appreciate the support, and hopefully that was informational. In part 2, we'll dive into a little more of the gear, and not so much gear like the camera you should use or the lenses you should use. That's doesn't matter, that's completely up to you. But this is more like, how do you back up that gear, what type of outlets, power, things of that nature, and some other things that I know will help, because they helped me a ton. And yeah, I appreciate the support. Like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and appreciate everything. Thanks guys, bye.